Hello and welcome to another edition of Iron Port. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. If you grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, all that transpires here on Iron Port would be found in that newspaper. Viewers, this episode of Iron Port happens to be the last one this year, 2021. In view of this, we decided to go back and chronicle some of the highlights of the events that happened in the port and maritime industry this year. Take a look at this piece and we'll be back to delve into the main discussion. The year 2021 in the maritime industry began with recovery from the devastating effects of the COVID-19 being the main priority of stakeholders. One key step taken in the fight against the virus was the initial vaccination of essential workers, which included port workers. The industry embarked on business continuity while managing the spread of the virus. Ghana's port industry achieved some milestones. The fourth berth of the MPS Terminal 3 at the port of Tema was completed and duly commissioned for business. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority also took delivery of two new LHM 550 mobile harbour cranes at the port of Tema to boost the port's productivity in handling both bulk and containerized cargo. The Community Terminal was completed and handed over to GPHA in March. In Takoradi, the first phase of the Atlantic Multi-Purpose Terminal project is nearing completion. The port of Takoradi received a historic vessel called the Golden Spray, who called the port to load 203,500 metric tons of manganese to China. The port also received its maiden commercial tanker vessel, GH Parks, at its liquid bulk terminal to offload 9,500 metric tons of gas oil. The port of Takoradi also witnessed the commissioning of the first Ghanaian-owned, Ghana-flagged supply vessel, which will support offshore oil and gas industry activities in Ghana. Feasibility studies for the proposed port of Keta was completed and revealed to stakeholders. Findings of the feasibility studies indicates that the phase 1 of the project would cost around $600 million.
The project of this nature are highly capital intensive and government on its own may not be able to finance it all. The involvement of the private sector is to bring the needed capital, expertise and efficiencies to the delivery of these projects.
A series of pirate attacks on Ghanaian fishing vessels were recorded in the Gulf of Guinea as piratical attacks surged in the area earlier this year. Also, several species of fishes including dolphins washed ashore some coastal areas in Ghana. Some containers of rosewood were confiscated at the port of Tema following attempted illegal exports.
We are taking all the necessary steps to protect the natural resources of our country. And my own sense is that this measure we've put in, without doubt, I'm very confident, without doubt, will deal a big blow to the whole cartel.
Key state agencies operating at Ghana's entry points tested their state of readiness in terms of capacity and level of coordination in a simulation exercise at the port of Tema. This year also saw the introduction of the National Integrated Maritime Strategy, a consolidated framework for the maritime domain to promote sustainability and security of Ghana's blue economy. Notably, the shipping community in Ghana during various periods of the year registered their displeasure over what they describe as illegal and outrageous charges by shipping lines operating in the country.
We are absolutely not in doubt in our mind that the so-called increment in port additional surcharge by the shipping lines has no legal backing, has no authorization, and therefore should be disregarded.
The matter of the Marine Cargo Insurance Protocol was a subject of major controversy, with industry players divided on the subject.
Before your goods can be cleared, there should be the evidence of local marine insurance certificates.
If I'm buying my goods from my supplier, situation whereby I don't have fiscal cash to pay him, but he can credit me, the onus lies on the one who's crediting me the goods to have an insurable interest on his goods.
Similarly, traders cautioned against a suspected reversal of government's benchmark value reduction policy at the ports of Ghana.
They should not touch the benchmark value because
It is the mitigating factor, and that is the last straw in the wake of difficulties. Businesses are so much in distress, and so if you adopt sensitive policy, and it's the flagship program of this same government, and if it should touch, then we will be in trouble.
All right, folks, over the past year or two, you might have heard something, one thing or the other, about the Keta Port project. Today, we want to get closer to this conversation. And to do this, we had no one better than the director of the port project, Dr. Alexander Eduse. He shared some interesting details pertaining to the direction of this port project. Take a listen.
First of all, I would want you to perhaps give us an overview of what has transpired so far in terms of the project.
2022, our intent is to do the environmental impact assessment, which we anticipate is going to be between 8 to 10 months. Get it done. Hopefully by the last quarter of that year, we would have started at extra engagements as to the true financial arrangements to move forward. So for us, the 10 months that we are doing environmental impact is not going to limit our engagements.
Has that started already?
We've started, actually, we are going to put the request for expression of interest out. Hopefully, immediately we come back from the holidays. We are anticipating that maybe by last week of February or last week of maybe March, we should have secured somebody who will be willing, or a company that will be willing to take the project forward. So
you mentioned the feasibility studies, and we just want to find out what were some of the elements that went into it.
Selhorn is our consulting partner that did the project for us. And what they needed to do was to come on the grounds and do a lot of work. But feasibility does not do only just working on the grounds. Feasibility includes a lot of background work that one has to do before you actually hit the ground. And what they did while we were going through COVID and restrictions traveling, we decided to take advantage of the technology as it existed. So we opened the space for them to use video conferencing to get in touch with stakeholders who could engage them on Zoom and Teams and things like that. And then when the country opened up for foreigners to come to the country, they came and spent some time on the ground. We worked with them. We had some engagements with local people, and those that did not have the opportunity to do their online processes. And they engaged GPHA also. We gave them what we had. They also brought out what they had on board. We really had things in mind that we are anticipating we want to do in Keta. They also had their own ideas, but we had to make sure that we had a meeting of the minds to ensure that whatever document that was going to be given to us met what we aspire to have in Keta. And by the way, there are certain things that we need to make clear.
Right.
This project does not intend to destroy any indigenous processes that exist. People have started talking about, they are going to bring a port and people in the environment are not going to have their business anymore. Those who are doing salt are going to lose their business. Those who are doing the Keta school boys are going to lose. That's not true at all. What we are trying to do is we bring this port and we are bringing these indigenous industries to bear in the processes so that we enhance what indigenous people are doing instead of actually thinking of destroying what indigenous people are. So we are trying to incorporate what exists and make it better. Now, we do talk about Keta Port project, and it make it look like we're just going to build a port and leave the rest alone. Where the port is going to be, the lagoon is right there, and the interest of the indigenous on the lagoon being enhanced is all being put to bear with the environmental impact assessment that we are trying to execute. And likewise, most of the projects we are going to take to Uti or Keta, we are also ensuring that the people know to prepare themselves adequately for the leapfrogging of development that is coming in. We are looking at not building a port alone, but we're also looking at building a port city. And you know what it takes to build a port city. If you do not get the people buying into the project itself, it will stall. For me, the pressure is people assume, and my minister has said this, that building Keta Port is an event. It is not an event.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah, it takes time.
And we are confident that this project will start before the end of this administration. However, we want to ensure that the process is based on solid rock. I can assure you, this administration is willing to build a port. It is going to build a port that is solid on the grounds. It is not going to be one of those statements that you make just for political expediency. We talk about Takoradi. Takoradi was built somewhere in 1928. You just showed in your review, Takoradi is still developing.
Absolutely.
So you can attest to it that developing a port does not start just like that. And you may start, and it doesn't have a finishing. You continue adding on to it. Tema started in Nkrumah's days. It is still being developed. Terminal 3 just finished a few years ago. What we have done with Keta Port development is learning from the experiences of Takoradi and Tema and ensuring that anything amiss in Takoradi or Tema will be fixed in Keta Port, and still bring the best practices from the external of Ghana, from the world in here. And what we are developing, for instance, let me give you one. We do not have a naturally built cruise berth in any of our ports. We are looking at it. It is part of the clusters we've developed in Keta Port to ensure that if Tema doesn't have, if Takoradi doesn't have, Tema will have, Keta will have, so that we can complement each other in the development of Keta Port. We are not going to just duplicate what Takoradi has or Tema has. We are trying to bring in what the two ports don't have into Keta Port. So you have to process this very well. When we call it greenfield, it means we are starting something anew. It's not adding on to what already exists. So when you are starting anew, you are looking about greenfield. You are looking about environmentally sound port. And if it's environmentally sound, you are looking at, can you bring more technologies into this port that will make it efficient, that will maintain environmental degradation, or lessen the pollution that ports normally provide? And what kind of technologies can you bring to bear? Can you enhance the sun to generate electricity? Can you use the wind to generate electricity? Those are the things we are looking at. So this planning that we are doing is not just looking at what is there and replicating. We are also bringing better technology into the port development. And so we are certain that it's going to take some time for it to be completed. But at least you have to start from somewhere to add on to it. That's why the sector minister talked about phase 1, crucially, as something that we probably be able to start in 2023 moving forward.
So far, what's the level of interest, from the investor community?
Well, everybody is interested. In as much as it will take money to develop the sport, money is not it. We should not be only looking at the money aspect. As I said, is it beneficial to Ghana? Is it beneficial to Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority? And is it beneficial to the people that in the communities that we are going into? Now, if the arrangements that we can get meets all these 3 criteria, then of course you can move forward. And everybody can say they have money, they can put money on the table. But if it's detrimental to the people, to the country, to GPHA, then we have to sit back and look at it again, so that we don't sell our birthrights just because we want development. I think the mindset that has come into the development of this port is we will do this right. And we will do it right such that we will not come back again beating ourselves had we known we should have done it this way. And so it's going to take some time for us to put something on the ground, and we are doing that tactfully, making sure that our I's, our daughters, and our T's are crossed very well.
Okay, so let's take a look at the type of businesses that are likely to go to Keta. You mentioned the cruise berth, which is lacking in Tema and Takoradi, and so the plan is to have it in Keta. What other businesses are you intending to attract? Premised on the fact that the feasibility studies confirms that this is a very viable, project. We
do believe that Keta Port gives strategic placement for the Eastern Naval Base, and we've been engaging the Navy on this. Proximity to Lomé Port is short. It's true, but when businesses are booming, people pick and choose where they want to go. We do believe, looking at Terminal 3 in Tema, the number of growth that it has achieved. We also believe that if we do Keta Port, based on the feasibility, what we've seen, we will get our own traffic, not necessarily competing, but give alternative ports to our business community to come. So yes, are we going to do a container terminal? Yes. Are we going to do a multi-purpose terminal? Yes. Are we going to do a general small craft services? Yes. Are we going to do shipyard and dry dock services? Yes. Are we going to do oil jetty and storage facilities? Yes. So we are looking at LNG bunkering services, if at all possible. We are looking at other marine services that can be provided. And then the concomitant developments that will come with the port development. Since we are talking about a port city, we are looking at the marina that we can build, the hotels that can spring up, the resorts that can spring up, and all in tandem with the development of the basin. We have oil in the basin, we have iron ore in the basin. In fact, we have lithium in the basin that has not been tapped up yet. So there are a lot of things that exist. Now, if you go to the OT regions, we have the grottos, we have the caves, we have the mountains that can be part of the tourism industry that we have not developed yet. That will be running in tandem with the cruise ships that we are thinking of bringing. We have had engagements with Barbados tourism industry and the country itself, looking at doing a tripartite cruise trips because the distance from there to us and going other places, they think Keta will be a poignant place for them to come and get these things done. So for us, we have not decided to do everything. In phases, we do believe that once the business case arises and the interest is shown, then we develop. So the $600 million that the sector minister talked about includes the dredging, the reclamation, the breakwater, and the basic key walls one has to develop to bring the first phase to bear so that we can gradually build onto it, the Navy and all those things to bear, so we can start building on it. So the first phase is crucial.
Now that's some revealing conversation we just had there. It is our hope that all the plans for this massive project are well executed in the future. Iron Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse. Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Welcome back from the break. Now, our next segment features something interesting from our sponsor, GOIL. The management and staff of the Tema zone of GOIL, after a long year of hard work, have marked their Christmas celebrations with a carol service. Held at the company's zonal office in Pung, the carol service was a harmonic demonstration of gratitude to God for his goodness over the entire year. The program was also used to donate items to the needy of the society. This included a cash sum to support peacekeeping missions to the Central African Republic. The Tema zone of GOIL also donated an assortment of food items to the Neka Youth Foundation as the Keta for the vulnerable in the society.
We asked staff to bring items. We listed our items. Those who could not bring the items, they brought out cash so we could get it for a Neka Foundation. So we're giving these things to them. We have rice, we have drinks, we have chicken, a whole lot of things that they're going to use to make the children in the Volta region also very happy. So we just want to say thank you for being with GOIL. Continue to be with us. GOIL will not disappoint you. Watch out for 2022 with more exciting goodies.
The Tema zone of GOIL comprises the Volta and Oti regions, Somanya, Pung, Dowenya, Afienya, Tema and its environs.
Throughout the year 2021, our business has gone up, our volumes have gone up, and we believe that customers deserve some commendation. That's why we're doing that promo. For all our customers who've not visited any GOIL station this December, my appeal is that please find yourself at a GOIL filling station and receive a prize. For GOIL, the trajectory has been going up and going up and going up. So we expect that 2022 is going to build on the success of 2021. We expect still to be market leaders, sell more, to be able to detect the price so that consumers get value for money at affordable prices. To our cherished customers, we are saying Aiko, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. To the drivers, I want to make a passionate appeal to you that GOIL business can only go on when you are alive to patronize our products. So please be careful, extra careful on the roads during this festivities period.
On behalf of the board of directors and management and all staff of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, I am happy to announce once again that we've come to the end of another year. We've come to the end of 2021, and we are happy to still be together, to have good memories of the past year. That it has been a 2021 year that we all expected to be better than 2020 because of COVID. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate all of us, GPHA staff and management, our port community, shipping lines, freight forwarders, customs, all other state agencies working with us, ICOMs, and all the other entities that have worked together throughout the year for the achievement that we've had. So far, statistics are showing that we've done better in 2021. Even 2022, 20 that had challenges, we did better. And we've come into 2021 even with better results, as the statistics will show by the end of December, when we've compiled our full cargo and vessel statistics. So we are looking forward to 2022 even with brighter hopes that we'll be able to do better. I want to use this opportunity to wish all of us a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous and healthy 2022. Let's continue to keep safe from COVID. Now there are new variants that are coming in, so it's not over yet. We need to continue to remain safe, abide by the protocols, and live healthily into 2022 and then work better. Good luck to all of us. Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year. Thank you very much.
Let's take our lenses to the international front to see what is happening in the global port and maritime industry. Nearly 18 months after the Japanese-owned bulker went aground on Mauritius, causing one of the worst environmental disasters, the captain and first officer of the Wakashio were found guilty on December 20 by a magistrate on the island. The two officers informed the court last week that they were pleading guilty to the charges of endangering safe navigation under Mauritius Merchant Shipping Act 2007. They will be sentenced on December 27. The grounding drew international attention as the bulker broke in two and spilled an estimated 1,000 tons of bunker fuel that damaged fishing grounds and washed ashore, including an environmentally sensitive marine reserve. The remains of the ship were recently removed from the reef, but islanders continue to report finding oil residue on the beaches. Suez Canal Authority has issued a new circular informing on the reduction of rebates on tolls for LNG carriers passing Egypt's canal from January until June 2022. As informed, this refers to the period from January 1, 2022 to June 30, 2022. The information was reported by Reuters, citing the Canals Authority circular published on the website on December 21. According to the circular, this is to encourage LNG carriers operating between the U.S. Gulf, ports south of the American Gulf, and the Gulf and ports at the west of India till Kochi ports. This will have a rebate of 30% of Suez Canal's normal tolls. Now it's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. Now let's listen to a few comments on the earlier subject discussed. This one is from Dada in Takrade. He says, I am watching you live from Takrade. I must say I am one of those people who made mockery of this man when he was appointed. After listening to him today, I think he is up to the task and I wish him all the best. Please ask Dr. Edusei if he plans of engaging Hull Technical University to start marine engineering courses. Hi, the director of the Keta Port project said, such plans are welcoming and the conversation to have the university offer programs relevant to the industry will be had when the time is right. That's all for today's edition of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching.